Welcome to another edition of Rust Rant, where I come on and I spew about, well, whatever the heck is honking me off today. You know, I've been saying this for the last few months. I find it just incredible how many absolutely dumb people are able to hold positions of leadership and responsibility. Yeah, obviously, we see that all over politics today, not just in this country, but in many other countries, including a place up north that starts with a C, ends with an A, and has a guy running the place named Justin. But it's not just politics, it's just everywhere, especially in sports, and I feel like it's more so in baseball. And I'm not talking about Rob Manfred, who, I don't know, between him, Roger Goodell, and Adam Silver, I don't know which of the three is the dumbest and worst commissioner we have in sports, because you can make a legit argument for any of the three. Boy, it takes heat off of Gary Bettman of the NHL, doesn't it? Because for years, he was considered, I think, one of the worst commissioners. But it's not just Manfred. Just looking at some of the major league teams out there and their lack of success, it just makes me wonder, who the heck do they hire for not just manager, but for their front office, for their scouts, for the people who actually put the teams together and then give them to the manager? Well, I guess in this day and age, more like give them to the computer to manage, the way analytics has become a cult, it seems. But looking at some teams out there makes me wonder this. A good example is the San Diego Padres. Now, minus the COVID-shortened season of 2020, because, 60 games is just not a really good measuring stick for a baseball team, especially when on a normal year, they'll play 162 games. That's way more of a grind than 60 games. But anyway, minus the 2020 COVID year, San Diego has only had one winning season since 2008. And then, of course, you have the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore, they were just a powerhouse in the 60s and 70s, even a few years in the 80s. But Baltimore, since 2016, when they went to the wild card, 3 seasons of 100 or more losses. Then you have the Cincinnati Reds, who we've talked about quite a bit, along with having a very selfish player in Tommy Pham. Other than, not liking their fans wearing paper bags, threatening to kick them out for wearing paper bags on their heads. The Reds, since 2014, again, minus the COVID season of 2020, one winning season. That was last year. And after that, they traded away all their all-stars, or several of their all-stars, and now they just really stink. And in fact, since 2014, 4 seasons, 90 or more losses. The Los Angeles Angels, a team that has one of the greatest players in baseball today, Mike Trout. Oh, by the way, fellow New Jersey guy, got to add that in there. But the Angels just can't seem to build a good team around him. Since 2015, the Angels have had one winning season, no postseason. And somehow Mike Trout decided to pretty much sign his career away with the Angels with that 13-year, $100 gajillion contract or whatever it was. And then, we got to come to the Seattle Mariners. I don't know if the Seattle Mariners, I can put them in that category. I think they're just more a bad luck team. They had 90 wins last year. They had 89 wins in 2018, 86 wins in 2016. Still didn't make the postseason. Yeah, I don't think that's a case of incompetent management, incompetent front office. I think that's just a case of you're just snake bit, guys. Then, of course, gotta have the Miami Marlins on this list. Since they won the World Series in 2003, again, take away the COVID-19 year of 2020, the Marlins have had 4 winning seasons, no postseason appearances, again, minus the 2020 COVID-shortened year. In fact, since 2010, Miami has had 7 seasons where they've lost 90 or more games. Again, you look at all these teams in years and years of just ineptitude, years and years of just unsuccessful seasons, and you just have to wonder, who the heck are they putting in the front office? I mean, we have 330 million people in this country. You'd think they could find some people who would be qualified to run a baseball team and run it well. Now, some of you may be saying, well, John, maybe some of those teams lack finances to do that. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not one of these guys who thinks that, you're going to buy a championship. You throw out all this money, you're going to get a World Series championship. Go back to just recently, just a few years ago, 2015, the Kansas City Royals. They had the 17th highest payroll in baseball. I think it was $112 million. Royals won the World Series. And then last year, the Dodgers had the highest payroll in baseball. Didn't see them win a World Series. Or what about the New York Yankees? I mean, if they don't have the highest payroll in baseball, then they're up there among the highest payrolls in baseball year after year. Haven't seen them win a World Series since they beat my Phillies in 2009, but I really don't want to talk about that right now. But anyway, you see, it's not always about money. Now, you may have an argument that the talent pool in baseball could be diluted. Maybe, fewer really good athletes are going into baseball, maybe looking at football or basketball. But still, I think there are still plenty of talented athletes out there to go into baseball to make really good teams. To me, it's just you don't have people in these positions who know how to put together a good team. If the Kansas City Royals can spend a paltry, quote unquote, $112 million to win a World Series, certainly some of these other guys can go out there, put together really good teams for not very much money, relatively speaking. Kansas City can do it. All it takes is just drafting really smart, having good scouts in there, having the right people in the front office to do this. Some of these teams, however, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is, it just seems like they can't find the right people. But if other teams can find the right people to bring their team success, why can't teams like the Marlins, the Orioles, the Padres, the Angels, or the Reds? Guys, there've got to be some qualified candidates out there. I mean, just go to ZipRecruiter or something like that, I guess. I'm sure you'll be able to find them, or just maybe ownership just really doesn't care about winning games anymore. And well, if that's the case, well then, sell your team to someone who does care. Well, anyway, folks, that's my rant. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow KYCA on all of our social media platforms, and I'll see you next time.